What's up today, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Tongue Designs. In this episode, we're going to be teaching you how to edit photos in Adobe Lightroom. And we're just going to go over the basics in this video. We're going to show you how to take a crappy image and how to make it really awesome. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned. How's it going today, YouTube? Today we're going to be doing a basic Lightroom tutorial, and we're going to be showing you how we created this image right here. And this image we took in Paros. It was amazing. Paros is in Greece, and it was so beautiful, so amazing. We took so many awesome photos there. So as we can see here, this is the original image that we took. It's not very good, as we can see, and we're going to be making it into something awesome and amazing, and this is the final product. Alright, I'm looking forward to this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is take this image and we're going to want to import it into Lightroom CC. And to do that, we're going to click it and drag it into Lightroom as so. This little menu is going to pop up. You're going to make sure you select the right image. And then we're going to click import down here. So there is another version of Lightroom, but we're going to be using Lightroom CC. I feel there's a lot more options in Lightroom CC. So once you have that imported here in the library, we're going to go over to the develop section. We're going to click this tab up here. And the first thing we really want to do with this image is we're going to want to get rid of this black part right here. And this was created when we took the panorama and it didn't come out exactly when we were steady with our hands. So we're going to want to remove that. And now I would definitely recommend Photoshop for doing this. However, Lightroom, you can do it just as well. So we're going to want to select this button over here. It's called the spot remover, and we're going to want to select this. So just paint over the area, and it just gets rid of it. It takes the pixels from a different part of the image. So as you can see, it works pretty well. Now I definitely would recommend you use Photoshop and use the content aware feature. It does help you get a better smooth image. However, this can work for small basic tasks like this. And we'll go into that in a future video. Okay, so after you spot heal, the next thing we want to do is actually go ahead and crop this photo. Now, as we can see here, the skyline isn't very straight. So we're going to want to go ahead and make that straight here. It'll make for a better image. And we can use these guides here to make sure everything on the skyline is straight. So this looks about right here. So once you're ready, hit enter. And there we go. We have the image. And this looks already a lot better off of two simple buttons. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to play with these sliders over here. And basically what we want to do is play with them on either the high side or the low side to see which will give us the most out of our image. So we're going to start with the first thing, highlights. And we can see if we go all the way up in highlights, it makes things way too bright. We don't want to do that. It loses a lot of the detail in the sky. So what we're going to want to do is bring that down and look at how much color. Look at the yellows it brings out. Look at the blues and the oranges. We're going to want to bring that down. And this looks pretty good. Now see, if we take it all the way down too far, it blows out the image. And the yellow over here gets a little bit distorted. We don't want that. So we want to find a happy medium. Somewhere along the lines of there. Okay, so next we're going to do the shadows. So we're going to play with that here. And if we hit the button J, we can see how much of the shadows are actually blown out here. So we want to make sure that that is as little as possible. So you don't want this blue here. So we're going to bring that out. And it appears 100 is the most we can do. This image is really dark and underexposed. So 100 is the best we can do. You want the least amount of this. Next, we're going to play with the whites here. So we're going to see what that can do. So if we bring this up too high, you can see the image is blown out. So we're going to want to bring that down and look at how much color we can actually get in the sky as we bring the whites down. Next, we're going to play with the blacks. We're going to go ahead and hit the J key and see how that's going to affect the blowout. And if we bring up the blacks, it gets a little bit more detail. However, we're going to sacrifice that for a little bit of contrast. So we're going to bring the blacks down a little bit to give a little bit of shadow in that. So we're going to go to about 12. Next, we're going to play with clarity. We're just going to boost this up a little bit to show you what this actually does. You can see right here. It basically creates lines around the different areas. So you don't want this. This looks terrible. And you don't want that either. It looks too blurry. So we're just going to boost that up maybe about 10. You don't want to play with this too much because it can really blow out your image and make it not look as well. Next, we're going to play with the dehaze. Now see how if we instantly dehaze this, how much more color is brought out in the sky. We got the blues and the purples. It's looking really, really good. If we hit the Y key over here, we can see the original. So it already looks 10 times better. So just upping the exposure brightens up the image and makes it look a lot better. Next, we're going to go down to my favorite controls down here, and they are the HSL. And this is the reason why you want to use Lightroom CC, because it has these features and it actually lets you play with the individual colors of the image. So we're going to go ahead and play with the reds here. Let's see what that can do. So this just changes the hue. And as you can see over here, it gets a little bit redder up in the sky over here. So we're going to go ahead and put that over to red. Let's play with the oranges. And this can make it too yellow, but we want to make this kind of a light orange because we want the orange to bounce off the blue water of this. Next, we're going to play with the yellows. The yellows actually are pretty good the way they are. Let's play with the greens. Let's make those trees just a little bit brighter. And now we can play with the aqua here. So if you play with the aqua here, we can see that the sea gets greener. And that actually looks like more color in the water. Let's play with the blues next. So when you play with the blue and bring it towards the right, it actually brings out the purple on this side of the image. And it actually plays really, really well against the orange over here. Next we're going to choose magenta. See what that does to the image. Doesn't look like it has much of an effect. Now we can play with the saturation levels of these. Now see if we oversaturate this, look at how it gets this haziness over here. We don't want that. So we'll leave that as is. But orange we definitely want to play with. Look at how a little bit of brightness in the saturation of the orange pops that image. Let's see yellow. Okay, maybe we can make it a little bit. We don't want to overdo it. That's the key with these things. You don't want to overdo them. Yeah, let's saturate this water over here. Alright, let's play with the blues. Now the purples. And magenta we already know doesn't really do much. So the red we don't really want to touch because it's only going to play with here. So now we're going to play with the luminance. And this is the dynamic range of the color. So it's going to brighten and make those tonals really, really bright and really, really dark. And see how we're going to do that. We can actually turn this down a little bit. And we're getting more of the shadows and the clouds of the orange. Next we're going to play with the yellow. And green. Let's play with the aqua. What we're looking for is the most amount of detail here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit J just to check to make sure anything is not blown out. So other than the blacks, we did pretty well here. And that's just due to the exposure of the image. So let's hit Y so we can compare to the original. And that already looks 20 times better. Look at the before of this image. It's kind of boring, it doesn't look that well, and now look at it, it looks amazing. It's just a complete 180 what we did to this image. It's just so amazing. And that's basically the basics of Lightroom. There are a lot of other features that we can delve into in future videos, like the brush tools up here, and the red eye correction and the gradients. We'll go over that in future videos, but now in this video we're just doing an introductory video of Lightroom. We're just going over the basics and how you can really enhance your images, and it makes it look a lot better. Look at the difference here. I'm just stunned with how well this image actually came out. And it's a lot better for editing photos than in Photoshop. So I definitely recommend Lightroom over Photoshop. I definitely recommend Lightroom CC on the computer over on the iPad. There's a lot more features like this HSL that you don't get on the iPad version. I hope you liked this video. I hope you made some awesome edits to your photos with this tutorial. If you did, please comment them down below. I'd love to see your work and to see what you can create in Lightroom. I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked our tutorial on how to edit your photos in Lightroom. We would do more in-depth videos in the future. So if you want to see those videos in the future, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see our future videos. Make sure to hit that bell button so you can get our latest videos as soon as we upload them. Make sure to comment and like our videos so that way we know that we're doing good. And if you like this video, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.